Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Tactical Devils. I'm your host, Jarvis Cocker, and with me tonight we will have Stu Wally, and we will break down the Chelsea-Man United Premier League game. It was the dress rehearsal before the Europa League Final, and today I think the players needed to perform. We lost the game 1-0 after a goal from Marc Cucurella on a header. I believe we played a decent game, but Chelsea had a couple of players that had higher quality than us. I can mention, for example, Caicedo. I think he had a brilliant game. We are sitting currently 16th in the table. It's not looking good, but Spurs is below us, 17th place. We are meeting them in the final. It was our 18th loss of the season. Will we get 40 points? I don't know. We have Villa in the last Premier League game, but the most important game of the season is the Europa League. Fortunately, no injuries, and we will break down the game in a couple of seconds with Stu and I. So guys, girls, smash the like while you wait, and we will be back after the intro. Yes, we are live. Good evening, everybody. Yet another loss, 18th loss of the season, and Man United are currently sitting 16th in the league. Have you ever experienced something like this, Stu?
No, I haven't. Although in my lifetime, I would have, if I was old enough to remember it when we obviously were relegated 73, 74. Also 72, 73. I can't quite remember. 72, 73, I think we came up 73, 74 season. Either way, I've not experienced anything quite as bad. I've experienced woefulness, absolutely. You know, some of our teams that we've had in my lifetime have been poor. Some of the players have been poor. The player recruitment has been poor, but nothing quite like what we're seeing today at all. It's very, very strange. And I mean, you know, the whole season has been an absolute fucking disaster. It really has. And I'm not going to go in on Amorim, so I refuse to. But maybe if we stuck with Eric Ten Hag, we may have finished 10th in the league. You know, at this point in time, if it hadn't been for three worse teams than us, we're down. We're in the Championship. Manchester United, a Championship team, they're not a Premier League team. So, you know, the board and the players have really got to consider that. However, you know, the game wasn't brilliant for us tonight, but it wasn't bad for us tonight either. In patches, I thought we played quite well. We didn't get the rub of the green with Harry Maguire. Brilliant finish. We got the rub of the green with the penalty, which wasn't a penalty anyway. So there's a lot of confusing decisions by the referee for me tonight. But we did demonstrate something. We demonstrated that, I mean, bearing in mind Chelsea are fourth in the division, and the division doesn't lie. So we demonstrated once again when the top teams come around, we can perform and we can hang in and stay in games with them. But it also demonstrates a lack of fire within our squad, a real lack of fire. You know, Chelsea won the game with one or two performances, Moises Caicedo being a standout performance for me, and Reece James. His little twist and turn on the edge of the box created the space for Cucurella, you know, and that, and we've often said this, Jarvis, on this channel, that it's little things done differently make the openings, and it's the opening that Reece James made for Cucurella, and he put it away. It was a good header. We were
It's
just
good.
caught
Yeah.
on the back foot. I think Amorim, his patience has gone with these players. I think it's obvious in the last week or two when you've listened to his
It's not
interviews.
just Amorim. I think
Yeah,
it's all of us.
well, it's all of us. But Amorim in
Yeah.
particular is now starting to show his true feelings towards what's happened with the season and embarrassment and things of that nature. So, look, we all said 3-4 weeks ago that we were looking towards the Europa League to get something out of the season. And, if we don't reach 40 points, it's been a disaster anyway, but fuck me, it'll be even worse than a disaster if we don't reach 40.
I remember you saying around December time that we were going to struggle to reach 50 points.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, we talked about it, but
who'd have struggled?
gone.
Who'd have thought we struggled to reach 40 points? I mean, are we going to beat Villa at home? No, because Villa are going to need to beat us to stay within that top 5. This is the issue that we've got right now. The teams we're playing, they've got something that they're looking to play for. Crystal Palace are playing for their highest position. Bournemouth are playing for their highest league position. That type of thing. So this is what happens. With clubs. So, I'd be interested to see. I don't disagree with your game of TV, but you've got to look at the personality of the players at Wolves as opposed to the personality of the players at Manchester United. They've clearly got a better desire than our players. Simple as that. Football isn't difficult. We said it before, Jarvis, and I'll say it again. It's not difficult.
Yeah, but it is. The more you look into it, the more difficult it gets. It's not as simple as people say. I think it has become a tactical chess game in a lot of ways, and you could see today how. Yeah,
Jarvis, if you don't, as a player, show some spirit, show some bite, then you're going to do it. Caicedo just ran through us like fucking knife through butter today because he got that fucking aggression about him. Get out of my fucking way, Casemiro. I'm not interested. We don't do that. I've said it before. We're weak mentally and we're weak physically. And unfortunately, we've proven that today. Would like to say that the Maguire chance was fucking desperately close. Desperately close. And I just think that ultimately, we have been left wanting all season. But it's worth pointing out, I think we're in 6th position, were we? When they got rid of Ten Hag?
6th, maybe 8th, but
Either way, we weren't 16th. So,
I believe Ten Hag might have qualified us for Europa League or Conference League.
Agreed.
If we had stayed. But that's just me. But I'm not saying I'm wanting Hag back. It's just the way it is. It's been one of those seasons. I just want to say hi to everybody tuning in. I see Fred Red is here. We have Gavin Underwood. Big up, Gavin. We have Mr. B here in the house. Johnny K.
When Ten Hag was fired. There you go.
Yeah. I think we all would have taken that right now, but it's just the way it is. Mr. B, Fred the Red, Johnny K, who else? Gamer TV, big up Gamer TV. Ahmad coming in. Good evening, fellow suffering fans. Yes, I think we all are fellow suffering fans at the moment. It's not a great time being a Man United supporter, but at least we have one thing left, and that's a Europa League final. And luckily we didn't get any injuries. And in a way, I was really worried when we saw Maguire go down. Did you remember? He went down. And
Bruno went down early twice, didn't he?
Not again, not the third.
Big slabby with his finish. What a beautiful cushion volley.
Genghis Khan Jr.
Cheers all.
Tonight is the Eurovision, or no, tomorrow night is the Eurovision. And when I read this name, I always sing in my head, Genghis Khan. Do. You remember the Eurovision song?
Yeah.
It's a great one. A lot of comments. Andrew Collins is here. Wizard is here, coming in and say, stopping Manchester City and team sacrificing the season to beat them was the best thing to happen. Ange and Amorim played a huge part. Yeah, okay. Hopefully City will be outside the the Champions League places. It could happen. It's really close now, 66 points, 67, 68 on Arsenal. So anything can happen in the last couple of games now.
Oh, well, yeah, they've got one game left. Obviously, City have got to play midweek next week. Then we finish on the Sunday, don't we?
Yes. Sunday, everybody plays.
Everybody plays on a Sunday. So
yeah.
City have got a midweek game, which will, and then the final day, which Villa, by the way, come to us, will need to win. Villa will need to beat us to probably finish Champions League.
And let's just have a look.
Chelsea, aren't they?
I want to have a look at the table. Let's just check it out, Stu, and see if there's anything interesting here. So let me just enhance it a little bit because I think it's hard for you guys to read. So you see the top, Liverpool already won the Premier League.
Absolutely shocking.
But here you see Arsenal 68 points, Newcastle 66, City 65, Chelsea. Oh, this is not updated. Chelsea has 66
that's not updated.
Yeah. And Villa has 66.
Go on to Sky Sports. They've got the updated table.
This is the Sky Sports.
Are you not? Yeah, go to Sky Sports Home and then go into. Yeah, just click the Sky Sports logo at the top.
Well, it doesn't matter. We all know it's really tight. 68, 66, 66, 66, 65.
Right, Chelsea fourth. So so Chelsea, Newcastle, Villa, City, and Forest are in it. Forest on 62, City 65, Villa, Chelsea, Newcastle 66, Arsenal 68.
So here you go. This is the updated one.
So that's the updated league. So I think Chelsea play Tottenham. Chelsea play Forest, don't they?
Yeah. And Arsenal is playing tomorrow. Who is it? Newcastle?
Arsenal play, I think it's Newcastle tomorrow. Yeah, because they
if Newcastle win it, Newcastle would be on 69. Arsenal 68.
Yeah.
Wow.
So who
and City has Bournemouth and
City got Bournemouth left.
Wolves, I believe, something like that. Yeah.
So
anything can happen now when it comes to, but top 5 is actually qualifying, so only one of those teams will be outside the Champions League.
Yeah, correct. So it's Everton, Southampton, Arsenal play Newcastle on Sunday afternoon. And Forest have got to beat West Ham. So Forest beat West Ham, and Arsenal beat Newcastle. Arsenal are then guaranteed Champions League.
What if Arsenal bottles it at the end? That would be quite something.
It'd be quite something, but we can't really say anything, can we?
No. Routinator coming in, 22 likes. If you haven't smashed the Lightning is in here to get a different list. Yes, we did. So, it wasn't updated. France is in the house. Big up. Coming in and say with Caicedo, we would win tonight. Yeah, he was massive. He's a monster, that guy. He's everywhere. Long legs, winning every duel. Everybody's man marking everybody, but Caicedo picks up the ball. That's just how he is. Yeah. Whistler comes in and say if United were in 5th to 8th, they would not be in Europa. Same with Spurs. Both teams done right. Okay. And United XS coming in and say, hello guys, would you bench Højlund and play Mount as a false 9th?
What happens with Chelsea if Chelsea win the Europa League? Europa Conference, they automatically get Europa League space. But they're likely to get a Champions League space.
Yep.
So who gets Chelsea's Europa League space?
No one. Or the runner-up. The runner-up.
I don't know. This is what I'm quite interested to find out.
Answering the question, would you bench Højlund and play Mount as a false 9?
No, I wouldn't. I'm not saying that Højlund is worth keeping as a 9 because he's not, but I don't think Mount's a good enough false 9. Brilliant 10, I thought he showed a lot of heart and spirit tonight, but I wouldn't put him up there as a false nine. Look, the difference is, let me tell you about Maguire's goal, and let me tell you about where Højlund should have been and not fucking Maguire. Højlund should have been between the two centre halves where Maguire was. Maguire watched the fly to the ball, straight to home. You know, Højlund has been doing that the last couple of games. He got absolutely bullied tonight, didn't he?
Yeah.
FA Cup winners get Europa League. Yeah. He got absolutely bullied tonight.
So poor. So
did Højlund, and it just isn't good enough. But I don't want to keep going in on Højlund. I think we've done him to death, Jarvis.
I actually don't have any footage when it comes to Højlund today.
We've done him to death. We've done him to death.
Yeah, we know that he's poor, and we need an upgrade in the summer. Maybe Jokenes is coming in. Most likely the lap.
Yeah, they're saying Jokeres to Arsenal, aren't they?
Yeah. So it is what it is. Broderick, big up.
Broderick,
this, Fry from Futurama. Thumbnail.
Is that Futurama? Is it?
Yeah, it is Futurama.
Oh, nice.
It's a nice one. Let's go to the game. Let's just talk about the game because
yes.
When it comes to the facts of the game, the stats, let's have a look, Stu, and get a picture of the game and how it actually played itself out. What am I doing? Let's go to this one and try to enhance it a little bit. So here you see the momentum of the game. The beginning of the first half up until the 25th minute, we had the momentum of the game. Then Chelsea took over until halftime. We started best in the first half, and then the goal happened. And actually, after the goal, Chelsea started pressing massively. And the Maresca ball and how they kept their intensity when they were 1-0 up actually surprised me a little bit. And we huffed and puffed, but we had nothing. I didn't see an equalizer coming. But when you look at the possession, Chelsea had 47%. We had 53%. We kept the ball, but we tried to play out from the back. We did quite well, but we didn't penetrate them in any way, and we couldn't get any advantage of keeping the ball. And when you look at expected goals, Chelsea had 0.82 and we had 0.37. 5 shots on goal from Man United, 11 from Chelsea. So in a way, Chelsea won deservedly 1-0.
It's bullshit though, because it said we didn't create any big chances, but that's bollocks. Because Maguire's goal was a big chance.
Yeah, that's but not statistically. It was an offside.
Yeah, but statistically, it was a big chance. That was a big chance that we created, offside or not. We created that chance, and that's what they do. Fred's asked this question a few times. Was Maguire offside? I'm confused. 2 answers to that. Yes, he was, unfortunately, and it wasn't with his foot. Yeah, what tends to happen when you're doing what Maguire does, you kind of lean forward slightly, and it's your lean, and they do it from the shoulder or your elbow. That's the part that was offside, not the foot. You lean to get your kind of sprint going. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. It was a gnat's whisker. I'm telling you now, it was. Unfortunately, we won't have footage of it, but it was a gnat's whisker, which is an old saying that my dad used to say years and years ago. That he was offside by. It's fucking ridiculous. There you go. It's his shoulder. His foot's fine. Oh, actually, they're saying it's his knee, aren't they? There.
If you look here.
It's his knee, aren't they?
You see here, I think it's this part of the body that's the offside part, so the tip of his knee.
Yeah. If you see, it's so close. See where the elbow is?
Yes, but this is not offside.
That part isn't. But no, I'm talking about what's his name's elbow.
It's this part.
Yeah, but look
and here you see.
Yeah, but look how close it is. It is so fucking close. So close.
Yeah, it is. It's
ridiculous. So, for me, I don't like it. What are you supposed to do? As an attacker, you've got to get. The idea is to get in front of your marker. That's what he did, and he's just been penalised for it.
But offside. It's a line, and if you cross that line, you're offside, and that's just how it is. Even though we gain no advantage of having the tip of his knee in offside, and it doesn't make his chance bigger because of it.
No, all he's doing,
you have to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, he's leaning slightly more, isn't he?
Yeah.
And a defender would normally try and lean away like he's doing, and you lean into it because he's trying to get the purchase, isn't he, on his foot, on his knee? He's trying to get the purchase on his knee. So
yeah. What is the chat saying about the offsides, Stu?
They're not having none of it, and rightly so. It's so tight, isn't it? It's. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, a lot of people are actually talking mainly about the striker. A better striker would give us more. Tech is messing up the game from France. Mr. B talks about 2 penalties. Mr. B, offside, yeah. He's right. It is. Danny B's in, big up legends. 30 likes from the Vutinator. Wendy's come in with a contract. I didn't see. I'll just quickly. I didn't see. I didn't see what Gary Neville was talking about, but certainly, if you move from Manchester United to another club and it's a sale, we have nothing to do with their salaries. Absolutely nothing to do whatsoever. If we're looking to move players off the books and to facilitate that, we might have to pay a little bit to the player, but nothing to the club, nothing to do with wages. So we might have to pay something to the contracts if we want to move a player like Casemiro, which has got 2 years left on his current contract, out the door. You may have to give him a financial piece of motivation to leave. But if you sell a player to another club, which is what you're asking, Wendy, then absolutely no. You're off our books, and he goes onto their books. If he takes a lesser salary, it's the player's issue, not ours. If we send him out on loan, then the loan club will pay a percentage of his salary. Manchester United pays the rest. So I didn't know what context Gary Neville was talking about, because I'm not actually seeing that, Wendy. But ultimately, if we sell him, we don't pay anything on his contract unless we give him a financial little nugget to move, which we've done in the past, haven't we, George?
Yeah. People coming in, and there's a couple of comments on the offside situation, and we will I have the footage, so let's just go through it after I. France comes in and say Maguire has no right being there, says a lot about the forwards, and it was brilliantly positioned. So I agree with that. But Stu, let's just analyze the offside goal. I have it here, so let's just see how it played itself out. I'm just going to check my phone that everything works, because we have had some technical issues. Yeah, okay, the picture, we are live.
Are we allowed to play this?
I think it's 23. That's Luke Shaw on the ball. He plays Dorgu, and we move forward. Dorgu stops with the ball, and you see here Mason Mount running down. We have Lindelöf high up the pitch. We have Maguire high up the pitch, because I think we had a corner kick or something right before this. So the centre back stayed up high in this instance. Dorgu plays the ball brilliantly back to Bruno, who whips it in. Brilliant cross. And here you see Maguire coming and smashing it in the goal. So it's a great finish.
Absolute brilliant finish. I mean, the thing is, though, like we were saying, guys, Maguire's got to make the move, hasn't he, Jarvis? You can't just stand still. You've got to make the move. And I think they got lucky. Chelsea did. I don't think it was by design. Maguire's offside, Jarvis, at all.
No.
It wasn't by design. He didn't move too quickly. He just got unfortunate with his size and his fat elbow, or piece of cloth on his shirt. It's really unfortunate.
But it's a brilliant cross from Bruno. I think Bruno had a great game today.
Bruno is excellent today,
Yeah.
And so was Maguire. But once you get in between those two, once you get in between two defenders, it's impossible to stop you if the ball's delivered pinpoint, which is what Bruno did.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant.
It was a perfect ball. But when you look at the footage, if you look here, there's no way to tell if this is an offside or not. If it was human eyes assessing this and actually making a decision, they would have no chance saying if it's offside or not.
Joe, I'll give their number 4 a little bit of credit. He's tried to get square on. If you look at his body shape,
yeah, it's Colwill. No, it's Tosin.
It's what's his name in it?
Tosin or Colwill.
Tosin. No, it's Tosin. Tosin.
Yeah.
Tosin.
Tosin. Yeah.
We noticed he's a little. His body shape's a little bit squarer than Maguire. So as Maguire's facing him, he's turning towards Maguire. If you can see, if Tosin was facing him, Maguire would have been onside. I know it's crazy, but it really is that small thing.
It's really small and
it's tiny, absolutely tiny. Cucurella. I mean, Ahmad. I mean, crikey, even Ahmad there is. But people would argue and say, well, look at Colwill's right arm. But they don't go by that. They go by the go by the shoulder.
Then it becomes the Tosin Sam is playing him on. Yeah.
Is it Tosin? I thought Tosin was 4, but either way. But they don't. Unfortunately, don't go by the arm, do they? I don't think anyone really knows what the offside rule is anyway. Nobody really knows.
Yeah, Fred also makes the same point. If you look closely at the Chelsea player's hand, he plays him on, but it's a part of the body that you can actually score goals with that counts.
So yes, it's not the hand. Yes. The hand doesn't.
No, you can't score goals with your hands. But speaking, I don't have footage of it. But Stu, speaking about hands, did you see the moment when the Chelsea had a shot and Højlund turned away, and the silhouette of Højlund, his arm was out? Yeah, I know it's close, but as a defender, you shouldn't keep your arm out because you make yourself bigger.
Yeah,
what's your take on it? Because for me, I don't understand it. We saw it last season on Licha in the Champions League when he went down.
No chance. You got to look at the power of the strike from Fernandez, Enzo, or whatever you want to call him.
Enzo,
yeah. When I've got to be honest, when he was screaming for handball, I would have faced him up on that and pushed him away from the referee because it's bullshit. The problem is the power of the strike was that quick, Jarvis. You've got no hope. You've got just I'm going to hope in hell. If you start giving penalties for that, the game's gone. I think the game's gone anyway. If I'm being brutally honest with you, I think when you're looking at fine margins like this, where's the beauty of the game? Where's the jeopardy? Where's the jeopardy gone? The jeopardy's just disappeared out the window. So if you start doing that with, a 60 mile an hour shot, which a 60 mile an hour car running into you, you've got split seconds. You can't do it, and
it wouldn't have surprised me if the referee gave it because I don't know the rule. I don't know the handball.
You've actually taken my next phrase because that's the thing. I wouldn't have been surprised whatsoever if we'd been given that or that penalty been given. I mean, crikey gave a penalty, for George when really. He dived a little bit. Should have got a yellow card. He didn't get it, so I don't know.
In the referee's defense, I think it was hard to see it when you looked.
No, it was, and I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that
because it's all about the angle. But when you saw it on almost still builds, slow motion, it was clear as day. It was no pen. But let's just one last time look at this Maguire offside goal in from a bird's view.
Yeah,
And I
real
think
time.
this is much better for us to analyze, because here you see Maguire, in the middle of the 18-yard box.
Now, what he does, he goes out there.
Mm.
Now he goes out, but he's got to link. You've got to get your body position correct for the ball to come in. It's so fucking tight.
Yeah,
It's so tight.
and actually, when you look, the moment Bruno releases the ball,
Again, I mean, it's so tight. Look at the goal, though. Let's just marvel at the finish.
I want to slow it a little bit down,
because the finish was just
Kaboom.
Sublime, absolutely sublime finish. It's a really, really difficult task, that is. It's a great goal.
But it's no coincidence Maguire scoring these type of goals. We've seen it now all season long, and he's dead on when it comes to attacking inside the box. He has the same directness as we saw from McTominay last season.
Jarvis, if De Ligt was fit, stick him up top.
Yeah.
The end. What have you got to lose? He's not going to do worse than Højlund, is he? He scored more than Højlund recently. He's not going to do worse. If De Ligt was fit, stick Maguire up top. Fucking hell, I tell you what, you give Van der Ven some stick. He'd win everything in the air. He knows how to finish. Honestly,
how the mighty have fallen. We are talking about sticking Maguire up on top. We have no striker at Man United.
How bad is that? And this is where we are with this club. This is where we are with the neglect over this club for the last 10 years. This is where we've been wallowing in self-pity as a football club for years. The fans are frustrated. I mean, look at me and you, Jarvis. We are as subdued as it gets tonight.
Yeah.
We've had enough. That we've had every little bit.
I'm not even angry. We lost. I'm just okay. We lost.
We've had every little bit of spirit knocked out of us. We're going through the motions because we're sick of talking about the same old shite.
Honestly, I expected us to lose today. I had no optimism or hope that we would win this game.
I didn't. We're going to lose 19 games because Villa have got to beat us. Bear that in mind, guys. Villa have to beat us to make the Champions League. We haven't got a fucking hope of beating Villa a week on Sunday. We haven't got a hope. We have got to make sure. Luckily for us, Tottenham have lost 21 games this season. I mean, for fuck's sake. Tottenham lose 21. We've lost 18. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, I bet you Amorim and Postecoglou are on the phone more, to each other more than their own. They see their wives. I mean, what are we going to do? What are you going to say to the press tonight? Oh, fuck knows. I don't care. I'm going back to the A-League in the summer, mate.
Stu, can you get this question from the United Football Way? How do you guys feel today? 18th loss.
I'm so numb to it all. The United Football Way. That's really it for me. I'm going to go to the gym in the morning and I'm just going to pound it out laughing because my mate is a Chelsea fan, so he's going to give me some stick in the morning, and I'm just going to pound it out laughing. I've just, like I say, in my years of supporting Manchester United, which is very extensive, gentlemen, it's 50 years. It's embarrassing.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing.
Look,
I'll tell you what. If I was a player in that dressing room, Jesus, if we don't win Wednesday, okay, then please, just don't turn up against Villa. Don't bother. Just forget it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about those players. So it is a joke. I mean, to not get 40 points, Jarvis, in most Premier League seasons, 40 points is the magic number for staying up and staving off relegation.
And then in another season, we probably would have been relegated with 39 points.
Ooh. We'd have gone down third from bottom.
Yeah. Stu is freakly today.
Prickly, both, prickly and freakly.
Yeah. Question from Boxing Straight Talk.
I hope so.
Amorim.
Yeah, I hope so. Freaky. Yes, I am freaky, yeah. I would like to be singing Ruben Amorim, but he's got to show us something, hasn't he, Jarvis, next year? Let's be serious now. He's got to show us something. Would you not agree? This can't happen.
This can't continue.
Within the first 10 games, he's got to show us something. But, Amorim's issue is on Sunday night or Monday morning, whenever it is, we fly out to fucking the Far East.
Yeah.
The week on Monday, don't we? Fly to the Far East.
Yeah.
So we can't even have a break. He needs it's just...
Stu, before let's just not sit here and wallow in our misery, because I want to go to the tactical stuff, and I know you guys are also here because there's so many channels on YouTube sitting now pissing and moaning about Man United. Let's just not go down that road. I want to go to the tactical board, talk a little bit about the game. So guys, pay attention. The tactical board, the boring tactical board. But let's do our best.
When it comes to about the tactical board, I love the tactical board.
Yes, I love the tactical board. This is. Oh, we have not by injured. Let's just change this. Onana.
Yes.
No. Sure. What I saw today when it comes to the game, it was a couple of things that I want to point out. First of all, when it comes to Ahmad, Chelsea always doubled up on Ahmad. Tosin was so aggressive defending the wide areas. No, it was Cowell, I believe, not Tosin. Cowell was so aggressive defending the wide areas, and Ahmad was left alone 1 against 2 a lot of the time.
Why have you got Ward Price in there, just out of interest?
Why? Yeah, that's a good question.
Would you like to explain that to the tactical Devilish Tacticos? Would you like to tell them why you got Ward Price in there?
Who's missing? It's not Ward Price. It's Caicedo.
It's Caicedo, the man himself.
Don't mind the spelling. You know who it is.
Yeah, we know what it means. Yeah.
So from a tactical point of view, Ahmad was doubled up on, and he struggled really. But when it comes to our defense, we did the complete opposite. We kept our 3 centre backs narrow and in front of goal, and left, for example, Dorgu 1 against Neto a lot of the times. Same with Masraoui against Madueke. We trusted our wing backs 1 against 1, and if the cross came, we had enough men in front of box defending. So that's just a small difference between Amorim and Maresca, how they choose to set up the team and the game plan. The man who was out today was Dorgu. They doubled up on Cucurella. It meant that Tosin had to move more centrally, James more centrally, and Neto, I think he tried to steal a couple of yards for the counter-attack. So Dorgu was our free man. He was our out. Yes. But for me, I think Dorgu couldn't do anything. And he was kind of toothless when he was on the ball. You could also see on the Bruno Maguire goal, it's Dorgu 1 against 1, but he stops, turns, and plays it back to Bruno. So again, I think I expect more from Dorgu. But I don't know if it's that attacking when it comes to being a wing-back when he plays on the left. I think the master plan from Amorim is actually playing Dorgu on the right when we get a decent left wing back.
I agree. I think he wants Dorgu on the right. I think you're right. But the problem is that when you've got that space where Ahmad is dragged 2 across, and he did drag 2 across, Colwell and Cucurella, and Enzo at times was floating around every time Ahmad got the ball. He couldn't get you're right about Neto, and you're right about Madueke. They did try and steal 2 to 5 yards every time. They would just ponce about in between Ahmad and the halfway line, Dorgu and the halfway line, because if they could got those 2 yards, they've got the space. That's what they were looking to do. That's what Maresca was trying to do. Now, the beauty of having the three centre backs tuck in is that you can widen quite comfortably, and we did do that on occasions. We widened Lindelöf and Shaw to compensate for the lack of presence of Mazzari, the lack of presence of Dorgu.
Yeah.
However, we've all noticed that Shaw's pace has gone. Completely disappeared. It's completely deserted him. His positional play, positional sense has completely deserted him. He's finished as a footballer, Luke Shaw, which is a real shame because he had the potential to be probably England's left back for decades, for a good 12 to 14 years. He was brilliant coming through, pace, strength, real power, great left foot. But today was massively, and when he hung Hamas out to dry against Bournemouth, it was really interesting to see his real problems that we got there with Luke Shaw. I thought Lindelöf was okay today, actually.
No, yeah, but I agree. I was thinking of it right now when you mentioned it, Stu. I think Lindelöf actually almost played himself into the Europa League final team.
No, I think he has. I think he has. I think he's understood Lindelöf, taken him too many games, but he's understood what's needed from him. I thought his positional sense was good. I thought he got good strength. He didn't do anything daft today.
No. But he positioned himself perfectly when we were attacking, because we saw it in the last 25 minutes of the game. Who did we lose to in the last game? We played.
I can't remember now.
Yeah, I think
Brentford.
Brentford. Yeah,
Bournemouth. It was Brentford.
The last. I would say the last 25 minutes.
We lost 8 times, by the way. Jarvis,
our wide centre backs covered this area when we were attacking.
Absolutely.
And that's so vital for us to put the opposition under siege, because when we lose the ball, we are right there winning it back again. And Lindelöf, again, really aggressive, but he knew a couple of times, because you mentioned Madueke, he was trying to steal a yard or two.
Great play by Madueke.
Lindelöf was great. He positioned himself in a way where he could go both ways, this way or this way, and catch up with Madueke. So his positional sense was really good today, and he really impressed me.
Yeah, no, I 100% absolutely right. But Mason Mount allows our two centre-halves to do that, because Mason Mount starts pulling players around, particularly the space for Shaw and Dorgu. He pulls them around. So I thought Lindelöf was good today. I thought Maguire, I didn't think he had his best game defensively today, actually. I thought he was a bit loose. Didn't think he was as commanding as we've seen him. Again, I thought Mazzari was solid. Again, didn't do anything brilliant. I thought Ahmad was okay in patches, but look, Ahmad's been out for how long? 3 months? Something along those lines. So I think, we can maybe give him a little bit of leeway on that. So we've got problems still. We've got problems going into the final. I wouldn't be surprised if this starting 11 is very, very close to what he'll play Wednesday.
That's a topic we can talk about when we're done analyzing the game, the team for the final.
But you're right about Dorgu. You're right about Dorgu. I think Dorgu's penetration is very, very good, but his lack and his ability, his awareness isn't great. It reminds me of a very early Garnacho.
He's still young. Yeah.
It reminds me of a very early Garnacho.
And he's very raw in the way he plays football. I would say it was an intense game. There was a lot of duels. I think we tried our best. I think Bruno had a great game, especially in the first 25 to 30 minutes. He was really aggressive. I think he lost a little bit of his aggressiveness when he got that yellow card. But before that, I think it was brilliant. And we had a lot of crosses, shifting play from one side to the other, and that's how we try to play. And most of the crosses came, from, for example, Casemiro to Dorgu, because Dorgu was out, and a lot of passes from Bruno to Ahmad. But Ahmad couldn't do anything because he was 1 against 2 all the time. He was doubled up on, and even Enzo was there, so it was almost like 3
Yeah.
against 1.
So
And
yes, if you draw a
the
circle,
ability for Masraoui not to help him out and do something, diagonal runs, trying to open up and stuff. I think Masraoui was a little bit too defensive when it came to our attacks, and I would like to see more from him or our
yeah.
right wing backs to help out Ahmad, because we know, for example, when Anthony played with Ahmad a couple of times earlier in this season, we could see those two actually doing something together, because Ahmad is really good playing those 1-2s, and running in behind and stuff. But he
But
was
that's I
kind of
wouldn't do that.
left on his own for him to
Yeah.
take on his man and dribble.
I wouldn't do that if I was Ahmad in that position. If you were to draw a circle, encompass Enzo, Colwell, Ahmad, Maguire, and Lindelöf, just draw a circle around there. Yeah, that's it. There, hold, and then on the edge of the circle, just shade out the right area. So yeah, if you just just shade that somehow, or draw a line in it or whatever, a couple of wavy lines.
Oh, I need to use this. Yeah.
Yeah, just shade. That's it. Yeah. So when you're faced with that, when Ahmad is faced with that, you going into that circle, that squiggle area is damaging, because he's never going to make it. He's got Cucurella, he's got Colwell. So even if he gets around Cucurella, he's got to face up with Colwell. So he's never going to do it. His optimum is if you just draw a smiley U face outwards from Ahmad up to Enzo.
I can't draw inside the circle.
Yeah, so basically, or just draw a line from Ahmad as if it's the same trajectory as Palmer.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah.
No.
So that's his optimum. Over to Palmer. Sorry, not Joe. That's it. Just draw a line. So that's his optimum area. So forget Lindelöf and forget Mazzari. That's where he plays. He plays in that area. So you come back on yourself and you get your crossing. That's how you play. Beckham was in his most dangerous, the position where Ahmad is now and where Mazzari is, for his crossing ability. That's what Ahmad's got to do. So when he's faced with a Colwell, he's faced with a Cucurella, he's got to look at reinventing himself, and that's your best area, your zone to play in. You don't go and attack him, because if you attack him, you lose the ball. Yeah, but the problem is, and I'm going to say it again, as we all know, you can do that if you've got a number 9 standing around the penalty spot. If you haven't got a 9 around that penalty spot, what are you going to do anyway?
Yeah, I see both.
Problem. That wasn't his problem tonight, but that's what he should have done. He should have tried to use his brain a bit better. He did in the second half, because he would come back on himself, if you remember.
Yeah.
He would come back and try and cut in rather than go to the byline. But that's
the thing is, you need runners around him, doing diagonal runs, pushing the defenders, making Colwell, making Tosin, making Enzo, forcing them to make a choice what to do, stay or go.
Enzo's the man. Enzo's the man you want to hold.
Yeah.
Enzo's the man you need to release. You need to release him off Ahmad. And either Lindelöf, Mazzari, or Casemiro should have been in a situation to block the Enzo run, stop the Enzo run.
But you know why, Stu? This is a problem, because we played not with the double pivot, we played with a staggered pivot.
Yeah.
So Bruno is doing the sideways, and Casemiro is doing the sideways, side to side, and Bruno is doing the up and down. But usually I think the number 6 should be around here doing diagonal runs if the 10 is not.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, if you to move Enzo into across where Palmer is, if you in that trajectory, which is where he would normally be.
Yeah.
Enzo's there 6. Yeah. If you push him up and then there, you put Casemiro up on him or Bruno up on him. You stop him by being in his zone alone. You don't have to physically stop him by being in his zone alone. You stop him cutting in and stopping Ahmad coming across. There are ways of doing it. And I agree with you. We didn't play with a double pivot today. We played with an elastic band pivot. It's no good. But we said this before. Do you remember when I did my team the other day and you looked at it and you thought, that's a bit strange. It was Casemiro as a single pivot and Bruno as a circular player, the circular 8. Once you put Bruno in that circular 8, that's where we're dangerous. We're not dangerous when we play with an elastic band pivot. I agree with you. Absolutely right. And it shows you why we're not dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see if I had anything else from the game. I've written up, doubled up on Ahmad, Dogu, no press, cheating with Neto, high wide centre backs, Luke Shaw and
Great spot
Lindelöf.
that Neto, by the way, Jarvis. Great spot, mate. It was.
Yeah,
People, people,
I
people
do,
won't notice it.
I take my notes during the game, because when
People
I
won't
look at
notice it.
things,
No. People won't notice that. They won't understand. Do you know what they'll say?
no,
Neto was lazy. He wasn't back. He wasn't backing it. Bullshit. He wasn't
no,
being
it's
lazy.
clearly a game plan
He was being
from
smart.
Maresca. Yeah,
Yeah, he was being smart. It was a great spot. That well done.
thank you, thank you.
That was really patronising or sounded patronising. It wasn't meant to be, but what I meant to say is a great spot because it would honestly people accused him of being lazy.
Let's have a look at a couple of the chances during the game. See here, Cucurella coming and playing Madueke on the wing. Madueke comes up. You see, we are left 1-against-1. We're not in a way doubling up when it comes to our wing backs defending. We have our centre backs quite narrow. Lindelöf is positioned okay here.
He's all right there, Lindelöf. Yeah.
Madueke cuts inside, plays it back to, I think it's Palmer, who gets a shot off. It deflects. But now look at Onana. And as a goalkeeper, why do he flap it in front of goal and not punch it away from goal? This is Onana. He will cost us in the Europa League final if he continues this. Again,
I would have tried to get it over the bar, to be honest with you, Jarvis, or
why
catch
is he
it. It
flapping
looked
it?
it looked like he could catch that, didn't it?
It's an offside, but that's okay. But Onana doesn't know that.
No.
Why is he giving a rebound straight out into the Chelsea players?
And Enzo missed it terribly, didn't he, as well?
Yeah. But he's a terrible goalkeeper,
Goalkeeping.
Onana.
Goalkeeping. That was terrible, Jarvis. Oof. Absolutely abysmal.
Oof. But again, you see Palmer, we talked about area 14, the one in front of the 18-yard box. And we can't let Palmer come inside that area. Look at him. He's by himself. We're not applying any pressure. We are too late coming in this area. And either I think it's Bruno here or Casemiro should be
tighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's bad defending.
Yeah. If you go back from the very, very start, though, it all starts from Mazzari doing a pirouette and he wasn't prepared. Look at there you go. Look at him. Little pirouette. You're not prepared. You've got to be sharper on the turn, quicker, get your stance done, jogging, get your stance done. Then you face him up, Jarvis, face him up, make him get past you. And you've got the strength and speed and knowledge to get the tackle and he doesn't get across. It's a little tiny thing, but it gives you 2 yards of space all the time. When you just watch again, if you see Mazzari, he's not ball watching, he's just doing a tiny little pirouette. Or there he goes. Look, he's not ball watching, but he slows himself down, doesn't get ready. Set yourself quicker, get yourself out there, make Madueke do something quicker. It's only a little tiny thing. Now here you're thinking until you see Palmer. If Palmer wasn't in there, if you just block Palmer off, Madueke, you think, oh, we've got him covered quite nicely here, don't you? And then all of a sudden Palmer comes into it, you think bollocks, because we've seen him stick those away 1,000,001 times. That was Mason. Was it Mount in front of him?
Yes, it's Mount. It's Mount.
Yeah.
It's poor, in a way, it's poor defending, and it's those little things.
Yeah, Boston straight talks right. It was flat-footed defending. Absolutely, 100%. And no communication. Danny B as well. No communication. So I'm not making that communication. And Lindelöf maybe not speaking to Mazzari enough. So that does happen.
Yeah. But what's your take on Onana and his involvement into this?
He's got to go in the summer. Look, I said to you 3 months ago when you brought it up, we won't have the budget for it. There would have been no conversation at boardroom level about removing Onana. And all of a sudden, it's been fucking abysmal. We need a keeper. I don't know what we do, how we do it. We need a keeper.
Yeah. I just
There's
want
still
to.
two ways about it.
We need a new goalkeeper, 100%. I agree because Onana. But for me, it comes to his goalkeeping technique. All again and again, we see it's about his poor technique. And why do you jump up like this and flap it back in front of goal? No, you should do like this, push it away from goal.
You push it away, you try and get it
Yeah.
over the bar.
He's absolutely not thinking, and this should be second nature if you're a top goalkeeper earning millions a year.
Yeah, no,
playing football
absolutely. And it causes your centre halves problems all the time.
all the time.
You're not
all the time.
expecting it. You're just
I
not
don't trust
expecting
him.
it to come out. They don't trust him, and you're not expecting it.
Carlos coming in and say, just shocking to watch. If nothing changes in the first couple of games next season, I'm done. And I think a lot of people feel the same, Carlos.
Right, yeah.
But problem is we don't know yet. We don't have enough data to slate Amorim because our players are not good enough. And I said so right away when everybody talked about Ten Hag in, Ten Hag out debate. Yes, maybe it's on Ten Hag, but we know for sure, 100% sure that the players are not good enough. So, if you want to go by the data and what we know, the same rule applies. We don't know yet when it comes to Amorim, but we do know for sure these players are not good enough.
What do you think about Donnarumma? I'm not passing this one on, Fred, by the way, but I'm not a fan of Donnarumma personally. I've never rated him. And my son, my lad, Jake, he thinks Donnarumma's superb. He said against Arsenal, I didn't see the Arsenal game, but apparently Donnarumma pulled off 3 or 4 worldies that kept PSG ahead. What's your... You like Donnarumma, don't you, Jarvis?
I like Donnarumma, but I haven't seen every game. But I remember I saw him playing for Italy in the Euros, and I think he was brilliant. And also the other game when he played for PSG against Arsenal, how he commanded his box. He's very brave when it comes to coming out and claiming crosses. He's not afraid, to take his place. So I like his attitude as a goalkeeper. And but he's not perfect, and he can improve in many ways. But he's still young from a goalkeeping perspective, and I rate him.
Yeah, but he's no Oblak, is he, Jarv?
No, not yet, but he could become. But Oblak, he's...
Hold on, that's big words coming from you. Because, guys, and you all know this devilish tactic is if you say to Jarvis, "Who do you want in goal, Jarvis?" Oblak. That's it. That's all you get, Oblak.
I have this ready for you.
That's all you get, Oblak. That's big. That's big words. That is, pal. Big words.
Yeah.
I do like Martinez Volps. I love Martinez. I think he's brilliant. But he's not going to leave Villa for us, as he say.
Let's talk about Caicedo. We were linked to him. We know that Ralph Rangnick rated him really high, but the club said no. We're not going for Caicedo, and the price at the end. I don't think we would have afforded him.
Went for 100, didn't they? Did he go for 100?
110, 105.
110, did he? 105, 110. Okay.
Yeah.
No, we wouldn't have paid that, would we?
No, not. But a year before that, we could have signed him.
We got him for about, can we got him for about 8 mil, 5 mil or something like that? Yeah, I thought that was the case, yeah.
But his drive with the ball, look at him here.
Oh, he's
driving
fantastic.
with the ball.
He's fantastic. Fantastic.
Do you see we are well organized anyway? We have our 3 centre backs tight centrally. We have Dorgu 1-against-1 against Neto. We have Mason Mount. We have Ahmad in place. Our 2 number 10s. Casemiro is here. I don't see Bruno, but yeah, this is Bruno. He's here.
Yeah,
so we are almost perfectly placed. But Palmer gets on the ball, cuts inside, passes it to, I think it's Madueke.
The pass was brilliant.
Yeah.
The pass was absolutely brilliant. I mean, we talk about Rodri all the time. Caicedo doesn't get past the halfway line because Rodri's had him. Bang. Next. Walking around Rodri. Where's the card, ref? Yeah, whatever. What you do at this football, top-level football, you see what's going on. Then what you do, everybody circles around Rodri then. Let's get Rodri off. Because once we get... Yeah, and that's brilliant. You want that. You want them to come after you. because they're then taking their complete eye off the game of football because they're after Rodri. Rodri's on a yellow. Let's get rid of him because we know once we get Rodri gone, you do take your eye off the game. Caicedo ran it from start to finish today. In my opinion,
he did. In
my humble opinion, and I think if I was Bruno tonight, bless him, I'd be watching a video back and saying, "Yeah, I've had a lesson handed to me today," because ultimately, he did. Caicedo was superb. Caicedo could have played in there on his own, Jarvis. That's how bad we were in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
We didn't need Enzo there. You didn't need Enzo.
No. Yeah. And Chelsea actually are one of the few teams playing with a two-man midfield.
Oh, he's a phenomenal player, Caicedo. Yeah. He is. He's, Chelsea, when you look at their history recently, they've had some brilliant midfielders. Essien,
Obi Mikel,
Caicedo. They've had some great midfielders. And they seem to go out and they pay. They know the engine room is important.
Now they have Lavia. I think he's also almost in the same bracket, but not right there.
He's not quite there yet, is he?
Yeah.
He's getting there. Yeah, they're great. Brilliant, Caicedo. Absolutely.
So Red Dead 69 comes in and say we could have signed Caicedo for 4 million before we went to Brighton.
We were linked with him. I'm sure we were linked with him.
Yeah. And speaking of signings that could have happened, according to Ollie, we could have got Holland for 6 million.
I know.
Yeah, that's the stage going in.
What do you think? What do you think Real Madrid will eventually pay for it?
Yeah, but do actually Real Madrid pay for players anymore?
Well, I don't know what they do because they're trying to do a deal with us, aren't they, for Fernandes? Because we've obviously got the buy-on clause, haven't we?
18 million.
Yeah, they're looking to do that deal. They're in negotiations, aren't they, trying to do that deal? But here's us thinking that Trent Alexander-Arnold was their big signing, but they haven't fucked about, have they? Real Madrid.
No,
they've gone in and
they didn't win the Champions League this year, so it's a failure of a season.
They've gone and got your man, haven't they? Huijsen.
Yeah,
done the deal.
Huijsen
Done the deal. No dicking about.
Talked about Huijsen like almost years ago.
Nobody dicking. No dicking about. They've gone in. You'll do 50 million quid. Thank you very much.
First time I saw Huijsen, he caught my eye, and I was just, who's this? That Dutch centre back, young centre back. To my amazement, he was Spanish.
Yeah. Who's the second one, Franz? Well, I know about Huijsen. I don't know who the second one. Second signing is. Do you know who the second signing is?
Still thinking. We are still thinking. So let's just look at Caicedo in slow motion here, driving with the ball.
Sorry, fine, Ahmad. Down you go.
Yeah.
Take the yellow. Down you go.
We see this. Our players don't understand the difficult turnover situations, when to be professional. If you remember the Champions League semi-final, I think it was the Inter centre-back Bastoni in the 89th minute. He just took him down right away. No nonsense.
Yeah, Bastoni. Yeah, well, most Italian centre-halves back then were just at it, weren't they? They wouldn't fuck about. Bang.
You understand the danger, but our players don't understand the danger in a situation like this, and especially when you're like 3 men. We saw it against Spurs, the Spurs centre-back who ran straight through us. I've seen it like 2-3 times this season. You don't take them down in situations. Grab his shirt and hang on for dear life.
Yeah,
everything you have to do.
If he drags you with you,
you can just hang on.
Yeah, look at his stride though, absolutely brilliant. Ahmad gave up though.
He did.
Can't do that. And that's Harry was way out of position as well.
Yeah, and look at Palmer, how he positions himself, how much space he receives when he receives the ball.
Yeah.
And he's the danger man. And we look like we are in control, but he finds...
It's a lovely pass, this is. Wonderful pass. Absolute beauty.
We are defending with 2 force here.
We are.
or,
Yeah.
or even 5 with Masraoui out here.
Beautiful ball, though.
Yeah.
Madueke should have buried it. He'll say it bounced up, but no, sorry. You've got to stick that away. You would have buried that, wouldn't you, Joe? Buried it.
Well, obviously, with my left peg, no problem.
You're going to cross the goalkeeper, peeled away.
That's the only goal I scored. Deep runs into the box.
First time.
No, that's the only goal I scored. Like one touch.
Deep runs. That's what I mean. First time sweep.
Yeah, first time sweep. Yeah. Because I'm an awful finisher.
Wednesday. We've got our game rearranged Wednesday evening, so that we can watch the game.
Yes, we have to. Whoops asking, can we get to 50 likes? I don't know how many likes we're on moderators, but thank you, Whoops, one of our moderators pushing the likes. I appreciate it, Whoops. We are on currently 38 likes, so let's try to reach 50 before the end of the show. And also please subscribe if you're new, on the road to 8,000 subscribers for us to get fully monetized. We are currently sitting on 707 subscribers. So
we hit 700 last show, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We 700 on Monday evening. Thank you to everyone that subscribes to us. We're slowly building. We've got we seem to be in YouTube jail. We don't know why. Me and Jarvis haven't got a clue. We seem to be in YouTube jail. So if you could tell any of your friends, any of your family, just anyone, to talk to anyone in the street while you're buying a Costa, just say Tactical Devils. Just keep plugging away on Tactical Devils, and anyone you help across the street.
10,000 stickers of Tactical Devils from Alibaba.com and go to Old Trafford and stick them on everything. Every John, every pole, every bar door.
Yeah, and then we'll put green and gold out as well underneath. Green and gold glazes nice. And also, guys, if you're a copper and you're nicking somebody and you're talking to him in the back of the car, just by the way, Tactical Devils, when you get out of prison or get out of jail, if you get bonded out tonight, just make sure you do Tactical Devils. Anyone like that, By the way, which is a very, very quick one, if you are anyone who's watching us and you're in emergency services tonight, our condolences about what's happened today with those two firemen.
I didn't hear anything.
We've had quite a nasty fire and 2 fatalities. So big up to anyone in the Devilish Tacticos who works in that environment. We can't survive without you guys. So big up to everybody.
Respect.
Crazy
Eddie coming in and say thanks for the company. I was driving from work when the show started. Just got home. Big up, Crazy Eddie. Good to see you.
Pleasure.
Okay, so the next clip I have is actually, it's us trying to play out from the back and
trying.
But we did quite well in this instant. I think it's Lindelöf on the ball, and he finds Mason Mount in the midfield, and this is what I like from Mason Mount. He took the ball down in the direction he's running, so he kept his momentum. Let's just slow it a little bit down for you so you can analyze it really well. So the ball comes from Lindelöf, and I think it's brilliant from Mason Mount how he takes down the ball and keeps his momentum.
He cushions it brilliantly because he doesn't never loses his stride. The ball doesn't go more than a yard away from his foot, and he takes 2 Chelsea players out at the same time.
Yes.
Perfect football.
And also the way he runs, it's a diagonal run, not running forward and get the ball behind him. It's so much more controlled the way he does it. So actually starting to see Mason Mount coming into form by these little things.
We are seeing thank you so much for that, Fred. That is thank you. Really appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Big up Fred the Red. He also has his own short channel, so if you want to go subscribe to Fred the Red channel.
Yeah, make sure you do. Yeah, he's great. But he was brilliant. And then obviously you've got Ahmad, who's really then when he gets the ball job, he's got to really pick up the pace. He's got to do a Yamin Lamal
But you see here, I just want to point out before you see Cucurella.
Yeah.
But here we have Colwill again defending the wide areas.
Yeah. Look where Mason Mount ends up, by the way, on the floor. Do you know why? Because they both take him out.
Yeah, they see the danger. You can't let a man run straight to your central area, because then you're in trouble. Just the way football is.
Yeah.
You take him down.
You get watch Cucurella. I'll have a second piece at him. There you go. On your way down, pal. I'm just going to give you a kick as well. You got to love it, haven't you? But this is where he's got to really, really go at them. You've got to drive now, Jarvis. You've got to absolutely drive at them.
So where would you go if you were Ahmad? Would you go here?
I'd go down to the line. I'd go down the line. You've got, because if you try and go inside, Colwell's going to stop and stick a leg out, and you're going to get fouled. Yes, it's a great place to do it, but I'd go down the line, and as soon as I've got a yard on him, I'm cutting across like that. I'm going to make him foul me.
But look at this guy, how he strides. It's Caicedo, and
he's in a brilliant place.
But look where he started.
Yeah,
he's up here.
Yeah, but he chased Mounts. Keeps chasing Mount, keeps chasing Mount, keeps chasing Mount, gives Mount one, probably gives Cucurella one as well.
Over the head.
Yeah, both of them. Cucurella gives Mount one as well. Right. And then look at him. Now watch, he starts to slow down here. Start to slow down because he's trying to make Ahmad make up his mind. That's where you got to go to the byline with that one. And you've got the space to do it. You've got the pack, you've got the pace as well. Space and pace.
Space is here.
Yeah, that's where I would go.
Maybe more like this.
Well, once you get alongside Colwell, then is that Colwell 6? I can't remember.
It's Colwell. Yeah.
As soon as you got around him, then you cut across him, make him foul you. Sorry. Slows it down. It's a good ball in to Mount, isn't it? Mount it was a difficult task, that.
But it's a good attack from Man United, I would say. We started out playing out from the back, and this is where it got us.
Yep.
And as we pointed out, it's not an easy task because Caicedo comes, blocks the inside, gives him one option going down to the line and cuts it back. But also Mason Mount continuing his run, not staying down after he was fouled, actually being part of the attack.
Fred the Reds call it a night. Thank you very much, Fred.
Big up, Fred the Reds.
Big up. Subscribe to his channel, please, guys.
But that's a big chance. It's a big chance.
It was one of our better chances, wasn't it? Yeah. But don't forget though, Jarvis, we didn't create any big chances. According to those stats.
Not on goal. No shots on goal. We had zero. Zero. But it's a big chance, this one. But 0.38 XG, it's not really that much.
Nice, that's very kind of you. Thank you. Very much appreciated.
What else do we got? Yeah, let's go to I think it's Chelsea. No, it's the penalty situation. Madueke.
Yes. George, you want to make?
Yeah, George. Yeah.
George.
So again,
it's only a tiddler, isn't he, George?
Yes. He's young.
He's only a tiddler.
18, 19.
18, yeah, bless him. Only a tiddler.
So again, who's on the ball? It's Caicedo.
Yeah, I know. Look at our energetic number 9.
Let's just look at
the energy. Look at the will to win.
Oof.
I know. What's he doing? What is he doing? If I'm Bruno, by the way, at that point, I'm absolutely bellowing at Højlund to get a fucking tackle in. Bellowing. Take him from behind. He's a beyond me. Højlund has got 2 left feet. Højlund is big in Japan. Jarvis.
Hey, big up, guys. Big up, Cass, and never a foul rate.
Thank
You
you.
came to the best part. We're going to analyze the offside, no, the penalty situation with the George, and then we are going to look at the Chelsea goal. So big up for the raid. Big up for the raid. Lee Collins,
Thank you.
Segun, and well, Steve Bruce. Steve Bruce. Wow, what a player! What a player! Big up, guys. Big up. Thank you for the raid. So 207 people watching on YouTube. So smash the like, and if you're new, subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So
We would love it. Subscribe.
Let's look at it. Caicedo plays the ball to George, and Onana comes out with his floppy hands and goes down.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Jarvis, actually, the more I think about what you were saying, when I looked at it there, it looked a clear pen, didn't it? I think we all thought of it and thought, oh, for fuck's sake, that's a clear.
From this angle, it looks like a penalty.
Yeah.
Because it gets a little touch on the ball, it looks like, but it's actually Onana's hand when you look close.
Yeah, it is. It is Onana's hand, yeah.
And if you look at the referee, he's placed right here, so it's he sees everything from behind.
He's on the right side of the ball.
Flappy hands.
He's got flappy hands. That's ridiculous.
But if you look at the close-up, I have the close-up too, so let's just play it.
Good man.
Yes.
Good man.
Now is the interesting part. Okay, I just need to go. I can't play it too long of a clip when it comes to this. Let's go like here.
This is where he comes in. Yeah. There you go. That was his problem. So he gets the ball, and his problem is he's gone to trip over Onana's left arm, isn't it? Left arm.
It's this is where the touch is.
Yeah, his left arm. Yeah,
you see, it's his left arm touching a little bit of his leg. So
yeah, but not enough.
No, it's super soft.
Super soft.
Nothing. He goes down even before the touch, so it's a clear dive. Yeah, but strangely enough, he didn't get booked for this. Why do you think so?
He didn't. And yet, no, he should have been booked. It's a booking. It is a booking. Onana wins the ball anyway there. So, but he's gone down, and it's it's a booking. The letter of the law is if you simulate a dive or simulate a fall, it's a booking, and that is a clear booking for me.
Okay. So, what is the Devilish Tacticos, the live chat saying about this? Should he have gotten a yellow card?
Yeah, it should have been a yellow card. Everyone's saying he got the ball. Yeah, why not a yellow card? Ahmad was booked immediately. Agreed. It should have been a straight yellow, Barman. No ifs, no buts, no debate. That was a yellow card all day long.
Yeah, agree.
Wendy with a great point, by the way. She's absolutely right. There is no Wendy. You're right. There's no joy in this team. No joy in this team. Lee Collison. I don't know. Lee must be a Villa fan. Congratulations on your win tonight, pal. You're all welcome. Everybody's welcome. Yeah, everybody.
Yeah. This is a channel for everything. We are footballing nerds, so if you love football, you're welcome to the Tactical Devils. It's if we say anything, it's just banter anyway. So
Stevie Bruce says, "Stan, greasy doner kebab." Love you guys. Love you too, Stevie Bruce. You enjoy, fella. You enjoy. Get it down, you mate. Brilliant.
Okay, so now go to the Chelsea goal. We see here Reece James on the ball, makes a little pirouette, crosses it into Cucurella, and you see here Cucurella with a lovely header.
Oh, it's a great header.
Yeah. So anything to analyze here when it comes to the defense? You are the defensive coach.
Yeah, we were too slow in coming out. Matt Zahari, we're just too slow in coming out whatsoever. The problem is, and I'm not having a go, and I'm not saying anything, but your expectation of Reece James doing a Cruyff turn is zero. Nobody would be expecting Reece James to do a Cruyff turn. No one in the Devilish Tacticos, not me, Jarvis, not you, nobody in the stadium would be looking at the Cruyff turn. And it's the Cruyff turn that makes the goal.
Is it a Cruyff turn or is it more like a Zidane spin?
Whatever, Cruyff turn or whatever you want to call it. But that is the problem. Watch Mazzari. Watch what he does. So
I just want to ask you from a defensive point. You said something about pushing out. Do you think in this situation the defender should push out?
Yeah. You try and get as close to the 18-yard box as you can. You push out, and you do it for two reasons. Reece James, first of all, if you try and push out to the 18-yard box, you're closing his space down for a start. Mm-hmm. Secondly, you're giving Onana, or that twit, chance to move out to the 6-yard box so that when a cross does come in, he's prepared, or he's got the ability and the momentum to go and cross it. That's why you push out. If you don't push out and you stand around the penalty area, you've given Reece James the yards and you're pushing Onana back to the goal line.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you push out.
And Danny B agrees. No talking. No communication, no stepping out.
You must step out. You must step out in that position.
Mm. And JJ actually comes in and say, was this the best assist of the season?
It's a great assist. If you play it and you watch what he does, watch Mazzari on the back post, because he's quite key to this. Lindelöf is in a really good position. Watch, stop it again. Because I want you to watch Mazzari. Look at his position at the time and look at what he does. So you've got to go back to before the turn.
Here's Mazraoui.
He's brilliant on Cucurella. Cucurella's not going to get round him. Cucurella stops. Yeah. And that's the key to it. And that's the key to the goal. So if you've pushed out, you're stopping the space that James has got. And Numbnuts, the goalkeeper that is, should be on the 6-yard box. He would have come and claimed that, no problem. But it's all about Mazzari and Cucurella. Mazzari watching exactly what Reece James does, but it's then too late.
Yeah, this situation is very interesting how he actually moves. But I think actually Mazraoui just trying to keep his line.
He is, yeah. No, he is, and look how deep Maguire is. So you've got to be. If you draw a line roughly around the 18-yard box, if you draw a line roughly around there, just a rough line
here.
Yeah, that's where you want to try and push. You want to get as many bodies there as you possibly can.
Yeah. But Maguire is the guy who's keeping the line in this instance. The closest central centre-back.
Yeah. Maguire, to me, is too deep on this occasion.
Yeah.
But again, watch Mazzari. Stop, start. Once you start, it's too late then. See, when he goes back, it's too late. It's just too late. I'm not, it's one of those. It's one of those where you've got to avoid it. And bearing in mind, what did I say about Onana coming onto the 6-yard area or within the 6-yard box at the edge of the area? Look where Cucurella heads it.
Yeah.
Right on the 6-yard box.
Mm.
If you push an arrow from Onana to the edge of the box, or put a little circle there.
If Onana was here, we would probably claim the cross.
He stops it. He claims the cross. None of it, Jarvis, I shouldn't say it, none of it is rocket science, but that's true. It's criminal, really. But then now we all love football, don't we? And we love the brilliance of football. And Boxing Straight Talk's right. It is Reece James that makes that goal. You've got to hold your hands up.
Not taking away anything from Reece James was a brilliant.
But it was avoidable. The goal was avoidable.
Yeah, 100%. Do we want to look at this from the goal from a different angle? The birds.
Have we got a bird's eye view?
Yep, bird's eye view here. So let's
watch
the situation. Neto. But you see here, you see it even close now. Better
Well,
Maguire.
I mean, we need him. He's
Too
too
deep.
deep.
Yeah.
Which is why if you push them out, they've got to follow you. They've got to follow you, Jarvis, because if they don't follow you, you're going to catch them offside.
But the thing is, you see here, Masraoui on the back post, he reacts too slowly for Maguire pushing out, and
he does. But in all fairness to Mazzari,
it's an opposite movement in a way.
Yes, it is. It's a crisscross. It's a crisscross. But Cucurella, look where he does. He stays. Now, as soon as Mazzari realizes what's happening, Cucurella's got the run on him.
Just look at this. This is the vital part.
There. Cucurella's got the run on him. Right on the 6-yard line, pretty much. If Onana's further out, I think he claims it, or he gets a save on it.
Yeah. I don't know if Onana would ever come out here and trying to claim it anyway if he was standing here.
Yeah. Lee says, is this a Man United channel? We are potentially, but we analyse, Lee, everything about the game, for both teams. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we all love football, and I'm a footballing nerd, so I can appreciate good football and people having individual brilliant performances in a way.
If you join us a week on Sunday, we'll be analysing the United Villa game. So but we tried to do both. But again, if you put that circle where Onana could be, I think he saves it personally.
But after this, I felt that we were nowhere close getting back into the game. I don't think we produced much. I think we had one more chance after this one, and that was actually great for Maguire driving with the ball from deep. I don't know if you remember this situation, Stu.
Yeah, I do. He kind of. Maguire was the only one that really tried to push us, apart from that Lindelöf through ball, where we demonstrated Mount and we demonstrated Ahmad. Maguire's the one that really tries to get us up the pitch, and they were lackadaisical at that point. Chelsea were hanging on pretty much with the draw. They were really sitting back, if you remember, the last few minutes.
But I'm 100% sure that Ruben Amorim loves this type of actions from his players. Driving with the ball, going through the first line of press, second line of press, driving.
Yeah, he's superb, honestly. Honestly, it's good to see. It's great to see. And he doesn't always necessarily know what to do, does he, Maguire, when he's there? He doesn't, that's not his role. But when he recently, he's got this real vision. Oh, God, I can't believe I'm going to say it. He's got this real vision for the game, though, hasn't he? This real vision for the pitch. His peripheral vision is strong and it's big. But what does he do, Jarvis? He carries his fucking run on.
I was going to point that out because he plays the ball here to Ahmad. But the thing is, if he carries his run, you occupy Cowell.
Yeah.
This is Cowell. So Cowell can't help Cucurella and double up on Ahmad. So in this instance, Cucurella has to defend 1-against-1 against Ahmad. And we know Ahmad is brilliant. He's a brilliant dribbler. He can take on his man. And in situations like this, Ahmad is ace.
Yeah.
And it's just because of Maguire's movement, I would say.
Yeah. I'd like to point out one very small thing here as well. Yep. It's a very, very tiny thing. Look at Maguire's trajectory here and look at the space in here. Yeah. Højlund is trying to get into the middle instead of getting in front of Tosin and wrestling with Tosin, allowing Maguire the space on the diagonal. Maguire gets a free shot.
You should block Tosin here and keep this space open.
Correct.
Højlund doesn't understand jack shit when it comes to football.
He doesn't do that. Maguire gets a free strike on goal. Little tiny things, guys. But honestly, a player playing for Manchester United should realise and understand that making that space. Even Caicedo slightly wouldn't have got to Maguire. Look where Caicedo is. He wouldn't have got to Maguire. Ahmad only needs to do a little dink in there. You can see Ahmad's got the space. A little dink in there, and Maguire's in.
And also, we have talked about this area in front of the 18-yard box. It's area 14 on the pitch, the most dangerous zone in all of the football pitch.
And
Look
he
at
said,
this. Look at this guy.
Yes. By the way, lads, Jarvis did say dangerous zone and not erogenous zone.
Yes, yes.
I'm such a child, aren't I? I said, grow up, Stuart. Grow there. Fuck off. I'm such a child. Now, interestingly enough, Danny B's right. There's nobody in there. We don't.
No.
We don't attack as a unit, and we don't. We're defending better as a unit, I think, but we're not attacking as a unit. So.
So Ahmad again, 1-against-1, easily takes on Cucurella. He just strolls past him.
Yeah,
with the biggest ease of the world. And you see here Bruno opening for the cutback.
Yeah.
We have
Can I just
here.
hold it there? Can I just hold it there for 1 sec? Here's the problem now of allowing that to play out. The chances of Bruno getting a clean strike is high, but a clean angle and a clean passage to goal is 0. Look at it. Maguire, Højlund. Højlund's got 2 around him. Maguire's got 2 around him. He could lay. It could be a quick 1-2. Ahmad, Bruno, Ganacho. You beat me to that one, you little swine, Jarvis. You swine. You beat me to it, and that could have been a sweep. But I still think he hits Højlund there anyway. So, but again, that's your problem. We have allowed that to happen, and we're causing ourselves issues there.
But Ahmad goes for the glory himself.
He
I would probably, in this situation, he should probably play Bruno with the cutback.
Yeah, I would. I would have done
an easy
that.
pass.
Yeah,
and we never know. Bruno is creative. We could have just shifted further to the left, and yeah.
So I'll tell you what, if that was Eric, where Bruno is, Eric would have put a backspin chip on that and would have scored. The ball would have come in. It would have gone underneath the ball, because look at the goal. Look at the angle. The goal angle. Bruno would have scored. Or Eric definitely would have scored.
Yeah, but again, I would commend Maguire for his run, actually making this situation. And it was Arne Slot who said. I read an interview with him a couple of weeks ago. It's all about deep runs to disturb the organized defense. And deep runs are so important in the modern game of football. So we need our centre backs to actually come deep and disturb the opposition.
Yeah, no, absolutely right.
Yeah. But again, I think it was a little bit too greedy. If this has been Garnacho, we would have slated him for this finish.
Yeah, to be fair, he didn't get the bend on it he wanted, did he? When near post rather than far post. Yeah, the ball.
Again, it's a big chance. It's a big chance.
It's a good idea.
So much more could have happened. It
was actually on target, by the way, Jarvis.
It was one. Oh yeah, we had one shot on target.
Yeah, your stat man said we didn't.
And now, guys, ladies, gentlemen, if you haven't smashed the like, I don't know how many likes we are on. Let's have a quick look. We are on 55 likes. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, smash the like. We need every like we can get. The likes are the currency on YouTube, and the algorithms push us even further if we get more likes. Now the most beautiful thing of the game, the tackle, the best tackle of the game. Do you remember this one, Stu?
No. Remind me.
Okay, it's a blue guy in a blue shirt.
Is it Mr. Caicedo again?
I just want you to pay attention to this guy.
Oh God, no! I must have been asleep when that happened. Crikey! No,
okay, so you didn't see it.
I must have been asleep when that happened.
You didn't see it. Yeah, okay, everybody just pay.
Maybe Sky didn't show it. I don't recall Sky showing that, but maybe they did. Cheers, Volps. Yeah, we'll be wrapping up shortly. Anyway,
Volps, stay for this one. It's a good one.
Stay for this one, yeah.
Okay, so It's a streaker coming out on the pitch.
Oh, dear.
And
No,
look at all the
they tend not to show it in the UK.
look at his tackle.
Oh,
Cena.
nice.
Boom.
Yeah, nice. Nice. I like that. Yeah, they don't show that in the UK. Sky are like, if anything happens, they like pan away from it. So
He tries to hide behind Masraoui. No, Ugarte.
Ugarte, yeah.
It's
I
kind
think
of brutal.
that was the quickest Ugarte moved, wasn't it, tonight when he turned around like that?
I think so. Maybe it's a little bit too rough, maybe, just push him out.
Mr. B, the pitch invader did more in 30 seconds than Højlund did all game. That's very true. That's very true. Dear.
It was just one of those. But that was the highlight of the game. I think it was a boring game in a way. But
it was.
I like the effort. I like that we tried. But, again, it's down to our ability, not, what do you call it?
It's I call it aptitude and attitude, Jarvis. Yeah. I just call it aptitude and attitude. I just want to see us have a bit of aggression. I want to see us, decide the fate of a game, not let the opposition decide the fate of a game. And that's what we've done again tonight. We've allowed the opposition to dictate and decide the fate of the game. Good night, all. Good night, Volps. Yes. And I don't like that. So.
Yeah, we are 1 hour 36 minutes into the show. We have one more subject to talk about. That's the team for the Europa League Final. What did we learn from this game? Is anyone closer for the starting 11? Besides, we mentioned Lindelöf. I think he had a good game today.
Yeah, I think probably Lindelöf. I depending on where we are with Lenny Yoro. I think the Lenny Yoro injury will be the key to what he does at the back. I think if Yoro's fit, he's in for sure. But I think you're right. I think Lindelöf's probably played his way into the Europa League Final.
Danny B, he learned actually that we're not beating Spurs.
Well, look, Danny's got a point. When it's no longer a European game, is it? It's a Premier League game we're facing next Wednesday.
Yes.
That's what we're facing. We're not facing a European game. We're not going to face a typical European final. We're facing a Premier League opposition, and we're facing a Premier League match. We haven't beaten Spurs since 2022, I don't think. Something ridiculous. But these players have got to stand up. They've got to be counted. We've got to go out there and beat Spurs, but we've got to play differently.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to do it. The way I want us to play, Jarvis. the team.
I know.
I've picked, and we don't do it. I'm not saying my way's better because I'm not a super licensed football coach. But your eyes don't deceive you, mate. They never do. One thing about football is, and the devilish tacticos know this, your eyes don't deceive you.
Mm-hmm.
And but we can take one thing in comfort. Postecoglou and Spurs are equally struggling. They're equally struggling.
They are.
They've got
and with all those injuries for Spurs, I think they are.
They've got no
even worse off than we are at the moment.
Worse off than us, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got a big decision to make as Amorim. And starting Højlund, I think, will be his biggest decision of the starting 11.
Yeah, I see Samsa mentioning this. Please let these two games be the Højlund's last as a Man United player.
I think Højlund's dilemma will be: do I run? Amorim's dilemma is: do I push Højlund as my 9? Am I going to get the goal or 2 goals that we're probably going to need on Wednesday with Højlund in the starting 11? The answer to that is no.
But I think one of the answers for the final is we are starting with Bruno in the pivot. For sure.
I don't want to say pivot. I want to say Højlund. I want to see.
I call it the pivot, but I
want to see Casemiro. I want to see Bruno circle. I want to see Bruno do the Molby.
But I don't want to see Bruno in the 10. I want to see him in the 8.
I want to see him in the 8, but I want to see him run the circle. I want to see a younger Jan Molby who was brilliant at playing the circle, but I want to see Bruno be a fitter version of Molby, but have the same impact that Jan Molby had in the game. I want Casemiro to sweep up in his little box formation, so he stays centrally, and I want him to monitor the 3 zones across the pitch. So 2 half zones in his main zone, just in front of your fabled zone 14, Jarvis. That's where I want to see Casemiro.
14, yes.
And I want to then see Ahmad and Mount pushing around whoever we decide to run as a central striker. And as I said to you before, if we could put Matthijs de Ligt in, which we can't, by the way, if we could at centre half, I'd like Big Harry up top, because I promise you now, he would do more than Højlund. He doesn't need pace up there. We don't play with pace, do we? We play with pace.
We don't.
So that's what I would like to do.
So let's just do a quick pick of the team for the final. By what we have now, we don't know about injuries and stuff like that, but let's just go for it. I think Onana will start in goal. When it comes to the back 3 line, do you think Lenny Yoro will start?
I think Lenny Yoro might get the nod, and I think that would be my back 3.
Yeah. Will Ahmad play in the 10 or in the wide?
So I would have Ahmad. I would have Ahmad and Dorgu as your 2 wing backs. I'd have Casemiro in front of Maguire, right in front of Maguire. I'd have Bruno in front of Casemiro, and I would play like that. And I would play Mason Mount.
Yep.
Garnacho. Hate to say it, but I would.
So where do you? Garnacho.
And you've got to play Højlund. I don't know. I love that system. Jarvis is our best system. The way that sets out is brilliant, because you've got Casemiro and Bruno, and you have to play Bruno in front of him, because that enables Bruno to have his most 2 Brunos, 400 in the air.
We haven't picked a team yet, guys. We are doing it right now. And if you have any suggestions, come with the suggestions, and where do you think we can improve when it comes to the lineup for the final?
Or what you could do, I mean, we haven't got Dallo at the moment, so that makes the problem for right midfield. I'll tell you what you could do then. Take Mazzari out and put him in place of Ahmad.
Yeah, I feel that Lindelöf is starting.
Yeah, Lindelöf starts. And Ahmad in place of Garnacho.
Yeah, it will be like this. I think this is the.
I think that's how it starts. That's the perfect position system for us. When we're defending, that's how you defend. Because I promise you now, Jarvis, it is very difficult to break down. If you do it like that, you need Bruno in front. I know it sounds daft, but it gives you that straight spine. But don't forget, you've got and this is where if you put it back to how it was just a few minutes ago.
Yeah. Okay. Like this.
Yeah. I draw a box around Casemiro. Hold it there, and then that's it, and then a circle for Bruno, which encompasses Ahmad and Mount. You'll see what I'm trying to explain.
So Bruno is.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So you've got Mazzari. So you'll do arrows top and bottom for Mazzari and Dorgu. So you do an arrow top and bottom, because that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And then the other way. And then your Mount and your Ahmad, you run the diagonal. So like that. Which is what you talk about a lot.
Yeah, you want diagonal rows.
Exactly, both sides. They're diagonal both sides. So draw a diagonal, that's it, and the other way as well, because you want them attacking the left. That's it.
Yeah.
So, and then you know what you do with Lindelöf and Yoro, because you talk about it all the time. You know where to
Yeah,
put
yeah,
that
yeah.
in, because you talk
But
about it
it's
all the
all
time.
about pushing up and
Exactly. So you draw a straight line
because
down.
you wanna keep the diamonds going.
That's exactly right, and that's how you work a very simple system.
Mm.
But the reason you don't arrow Bruno and Casemiro is they need to hold those positions. But look where Bruno's position is. So whenever you push everyone up, Bruno's position is always within that central area. Same with Casemiro.
Mm.
Now, if say for example, in between Mazzaro and Casemiro, and Dorgo and Casemiro, if you were to put just a blue dot as a couple of attackers, you then put your lines for Casemiro, don't you? Because he would just migrate into those areas.
Where? Here in
Yeah,
between?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if he picks up the ball, what do you do with Casemiro? You move him
Yeah,
left
yeah.
or right. That's all you
Mhm.
do, and that's why you keep them central as much as you possibly can, and allow everyone to play off them. It doesn't
But we
always.
said this in December when we analyzed
Yeah,
Amorim, that its double pivot is one sideways and one up and down midfielder of the pivot in the pivot. So he had Paulinho, for example, the sideways, and Neto,
yeah,
the guy who was running up
yeah.
and down.
But on this occasion,
And Mateus Nunes.
Bruno's no good for that. Bruno's better playing in a wider circle. So that means he
Mm.
can pop up in Ahmad's position. He can pop up in Mount's position. He can pop up in advance of Hoyland, and you've got Casemiro to sweep the areas that he's not there until he gets
Mm.
back into position. And that's how it would work.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, pick your team now, pal. I'd love to know your team.
No, this is interesting, but I know it's nerdy, but this is our channel. It's about being a
That's what we
footballing
do.
nerd. But my opinion on the team isn't relevant in a way. I want to talk about how I think Amorim will set up his team, and I think this is the team that he will set up in.
Mm.
I think Mason Mount definitely are playing. The only one I'm a little bit unsure of is Luke Shaw. Maybe because of his experience, he will
I
choose
don't know
Shaw
if
over
Yoro's
Lenny
fit.
Euro.
Yeah, I don't know if Yoro's fit. I would play Yoro
Yeah.
over Shaw, but I understand what you would do.
Maybe that's Amorim thinking, because when you come to a final and everything is at stake, experience is so vital. We've seen it dragging us over the line now in the quarterfinal. The semifinal was Casemiro, Bruno, Maguire, the old heads of the team. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
our performers in games like this. So maybe he will go for a player like Luke Shaw.
yeah.
And we know that Luke Shaw can do this. He did it for England. We didn't play anything and came in and played the final.
It was just a bit sloppy today for me, but it was just I just thought it was a bit sloppy. But
Yeah, yeah.
you know me,
Well, it's been a good show.
enjoyed it.
I don't think if there's anything more to
No,
cover. Quick question, man of the match of the
was
day.
it? Oh, man of the match?
Yep.
Casado. Have I
For
got to pick
us.
a Man? Have I got to pick a Man United? No one.
Yes, you have to. You have to.
Um, um, um,
Maguire, maybe?
Big Harry. I'm going for Big Harry. Yeah.
Lindelof, Maguire.
Yeah, Lindelof or Maguire, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably Big
And
Harry because
Bruno had a decent game, but
probably Big
Jesus.
Harry for his goal, I think.
Yeah.
When do you see right now, Barman? So it's a good question. Garnacho's he didn't do a great deal when he was on the pitch today, but he doesn't do a great deal when he starts. You need him in probably in the final 35 minutes to go. That's where you need to bring him in roughly around that kind of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one. There you go, Rasmus. That is the one. That's the name. That's the name.
Yeah, brilliant.
Brilliant. I like that. Yeah.
But by the way, Boxing Straight Talk, I agree Lindelof is garbage, but I think he has played himself into form, and it looks like he understands the Amorim system. His movement, his positional awareness, and he plays a simple game right now, and I think that's good. And I think Masraoui looks a little bit shaky. He's been looking a little bit shaky lately.
I think he's knackered.
Yes. Yeah.
I think he's knackered, Mazzari. I think he's absolutely knackered. He needs a break. You know, they've got a few days now between, but only a few days. You know, bearing in mind it's Friday, Jarvis. We play again on Wednesday, so he's only got a few days. I'd like to think that the lads will go down to Wembley Monday. I'd like to think the lads. That was an interesting take, by the way, wasn't it? From my side?
Yeah,
I like that. That was an interesting take.
You can actually do like this: put Dorgo out, play Luke Shaw. Yeah, I can go with that.
Would you then play devil's advocate here, Jarvis? Would you put Dorgo right and drop Mazzari? So it's a question, just a question. I wouldn't, but it was just a question.
It's an option. It's an option to play Dorgo right.
Yeah,
but I don't think we need him as long as we have Ahmad.
Agreed.
It depends. If Spurs double up on Ahmad every time and Ahmad need more help, we are better off with Dorgo.
You get Naz
But if they don't, if they leave Ahmad one against their left back, I think we're better off defensively with Masraoui.
Yeah, interesting. A lot of people suggesting Yoro in, Shaw pushes, Dorgo out. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting, that is. We've got obviously Jarvis's Corner tomorrow night.
Yes.
And then we're not going to have time for a review, are we? So we'll have to do the review of the game tomorrow
night. No. Monday night.
Oh, sorry.
It's Friday. It's not Sunday.
Forgot it's Friday. It's not Saturday or Sunday, is it? Jesus. What would be great, guys, Devilish Tacticos, if you could, on Monday evening, as you come into the chat, if you could put your starting 11, and then we can start and we could have a debate around your starting 11s, so we can pick the right 11 and see where we go. Be a really good debate, that.
Yeah. Well, I don't have anything else to add to this show. It's been a great show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We have Bama, Chiku, Boxing, Talk, Nash, all of the usual suspects. We have Mr. B, Whizzer, Danny B, Red Devil United, Rich coming in, big up, Boxing Straight Talk, Gavin Underwood. A lot of new faces today. Dan P. We had a raid from Cass. There's currently 125 people watching on YouTube and 108 watching us on X. It's been a brilliant show. If you're new, please subscribe to the channel. If you are
guys.
If you watch Never a Foul and the Cass's channel, Cass sometimes come on this channel every Monday, on Mondays, and on when we do the panel show. So, please subscribe. And we are on our way to the 1,000 subscribers. We're currently sitting on 716. So we are slowly and steadily rising. So
thank you.
At least in the beginning of next season, I think we will have achieved our target. So thank you, Mr. B. It's been a great stream. Thank you. And everybody, thanks for tuning in. After the show, please leave a comment in the non-live section and tell us your starting 11 for the Europa League Final. And we will have something to talk about on Jarvis's Corner Monday night, 9 p.m.
Join us Monday. Join us Monday.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will be back on Monday. Smash the like, subscribe, and all that jazz. Have a good night, and bye-bye.